Hey guys, it's Tams the Wicked Witch. Welcome back to the channel. So we're doing Vlogtober, 31 creepy videos for October. Yes, I got behind and I'm now trying to catch up really fast. As you can tell, same scenery, same clothes, but I'm getting there. This was really hard. This was not easy, and I had a horrendous week at work, and I am about to have a holiday. By the time this goes out, I'll probably be on holiday. So yeah, I'm trying to catch up. I just ran out of time, ran out of things to show you, and then I had a brainstorm and thought, right, I know what I can do. So yeah, I've just put one video out of horror films that are based upon true stories, and some of them absolutely brilliant. I love trivia like this, so I thought I'd share some of these with you. So we've already done one video. I can only do about 5 or 6 different films at a time, and then I have to cut off. So of course this is very handy to work my way up to 30, and then 31 will be something completely different. So yeah, I'm nearly there. So this is video 27 for the 27th, even though it's not. So we're going to do some more films. So horror films based upon true stories. So absolutely love the film Jeepers Creepers. Obviously there's about three different what's it's of it now. I think there's 3 of them, but the actual storyline was based upon excuse me, a murder that happened. Nothing supernatural or anything like that, but an actual murder happened, and this guy murdered his wife, and these people were travelling. I can't remember their exact names, but they were travelling in their car. Guy in a truck behind was acting very suspicious, nearly ran them off the road. They kind of followed, just like in the film Jeepers Creepers, but instead of seeing scary moth-looking angry man who we all know as Jeepers Creepers, the cool dude, they saw basically a murderer chucking a bloodied sheet into a hole or into the ground, and it turned out that it was this guy who'd murdered his wife. Had he murdered the kids as well? I can't remember, but he definitely murdered his wife, and that's where they got the actual story for Jeepers Creepers. Now, I do believe that the Mothman Chronicles is also based upon something very Jeepers Creepers like, where they actually saw this kind of, you know, moth type human being. Well, it wouldn't be a human being, but you know, a man, but it was a moth type entity coming out of the sky. So two for the price of one there. Mothman, Jeepers Creepers. Have you seen the film Open Water? It's not really what I call a horror film, but it is obviously about sharks and those poor sods getting stuck. But this was actually based upon Tom and Elaine, who were scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef, and basically eaten by sharks. All that was found of the poor sods was their life vests, and that was what the film was based upon. It was, you know, their story and how they went out to scuba dive and never returned. Jeffrey Dahmer, I think you pronounce it Dahmer, the cannibal serial killer from hell. It's on Netflix at the moment. There's documentaries on Netflix about him. Now there's like a series about him. The guy from American Horror Story plays it. Horror Story plays him. Oh my God! Even they've got him to look like him, and it's proper weird. But this guy is filth. I mean, he's just awful. And you know, he was actually a serial killer. He ate victims, and he was gay, and he would go to gay nightclubs and pick these people up. And the things he done was just terrible. And we have started watching the series, and it's quite intense. As I get older, I actually prefer horror films. I prefer horror films that are stupid and make me laugh, like some of the old classics. And then you find out, like I'm reading actually now, these are based upon true stories where they've got the ideas. So yeah, not always just fiction and made up. I mean, a lot of it obviously is, but the writers who create the stories in the first place, they get it from somewhere, and some really interesting facts. So yeah, of course, all the stories, films, anything about Jeffrey Dahmer is real. He was the serial killing, cannibal, mad, crazy man. You know, Silence of the Lambs. I mean, absolutely one of my favourite films. You know, rub the lotion on the skin. Everybody loves that bit. Everybody laughs. The dance he does, we all know the dance. We all laugh about it. Buffalo Bill. But all jokes aside, this was actually based upon a Mexican serial killer who murdered his boyfriend, and, you know, chopped him up and ate some of him and done all this awful stuff. So it actually is based upon, yeah, real story. I'm going to do one more because we're about to go 7 minutes. We've done Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers for me was crazy. I only found this out the other day and I was like, oh my God, because I know a lot of these and I knew I was going to do a massive video, but as it is, this has worked out quite well because I won't be able to download them. Exorcism of Emily Rose. I've seen it loads of times, but I didn't actually know it was based, I think it said based upon true events, but I didn't realise how intense. It's actually based upon the true events of an exorcism of Annalise, I think it's Mitchell, I can't remember. I haven't wrote the whole Mitchell, I'm not sure. But basically it's about her story and her exorcism. And yeah, so that is actually true life events, which is terrifying, to be honest. Absolutely bloody terrifying. I'm going to throw one quick one in because I've still got about half a second or so that I can spare. Annabelle was a real doll. Looks nothing like the Annabelle doll that we see in the films, The Conjuring and Annabelle and all that stuff from the makers of Conjuring and all that kind of stuff. The doll was nothing like that. She was actually like a Sally, we call them Raggy Ann or Sally Ann dolls in the UK. I don't know what you call them in the USA, but that's what we call them, and that's what she was. She was one of those rag dolls. And she's actually locked away in the basement where all the haunted artifacts are kept, out in the USA. She is kept locked away, and she was actually the Annabelle, what they based Annabelle on. And she's still locked away today, which, you know, is kind of creepy and cool, isn't it? You know, that was based upon that. So yeah, there's a few more there, and I'm going to come back again in a minute for video 28 and 29 with some more, just because I can't get them all onto one. So I'll see you in a bit.